International Vicario, who's unavailable. There's James Maddison, England international, who spent some time on loan at Aberdeen in 2016-2017. Actually didn't play against Hearts during that time though, so this is his first appearance at Tynecastle Park. And there's a man that knows the ground very well, Ange Postecoglou, appointed last summer on a 4-year contract after 2 very successful years at Celtic, winning 5 trophies in that time. Up against a man who he's kept in touch with, Stephen Naismith, who's full of praise of Ange Postecoglou. Said he's been very helpful since they met as opposing managers, and they have stayed in contact since. A very healthy crowd here at Tynecastle for this pre-season friendly between Heart of Midlothian and Tottenham Hotspur, and it's the Spurs who get us underway. Early work for Gerald Taylor to do, out for a Hearts goal kick. We do also have audio-only coverage for those in the UK. For those tuning into audio-only coverage, Hearts are in all maroon again today. Spurs in their traditional white shirts with navy shorts and white socks. Hearts shooting towards the Roseburn end where the Spurs fans are housed, and Spurs towards Craig Gordon's goal in front of the Gorgie stand. Spurs in possession on the left. Ball with Maddison. There's Archie Gray. That unfamiliar central defensive pairing of Gray and Skip. It'll be interesting to see how that develops. Some unfamiliar positions for Hearts. Well, not completely, but Kai Rose has covered at left back, but not his main role. As Brennan Johnson picks up for Spurs on the right. Gray plays it forward. Ball almost drops to Kulusevski, but eventually picked up by Frankie Kent. Now Oliver Skip. Here's Dejan Kulusevski on the right. I thought he might be more to the left, but it looks like he's positioned on the right side of that central midfield area just now. Here's Donnelly. Spurs left of the Hearts box. Good quick feet there getting into the area. It was Solomon, but dispossessed, and Hearts can get it clear for a throw. But early possession in the opening 2 minutes there for the English Premier League club, and Jimmy, I'm sure we're going to expect a lot of that throughout this 90 minutes.
Yeah, you'd expect 1 or 2, certainly James Maddison. Kulusevski probably going to get a lot of the ball. George Grant and Cammy Devlin have to be sharp.
Here's Cammy Devlin picking up. And the ball back now to Craig Gordon. Game mainly being played inside the Hearts half in the opening stages. There's Oda though, quickly closed down by young Jamie Donnelly, the 19-year-old forward playing at full-back. And here's Pedro Porro, slides it to the right to Johnson. Spurs have possession on the halfway line just now. Hearts with everyone behind the ball early on. Well cut out though by Gerald Taylor. Now bursting forward, the Costa Rican flicks it to Tagawa on the right side of the box, and he's offside, and he really shouldn't have been there, the Japanese. It was good reading the game, good aggressive defending there by Gerald Taylor, bursting forward. Really kiosky Tagawa. Has to have watched the line better there.
Yeah, I would agree. I think he knew he was going to go offside. Once he decided he's going to go offside, just come back out the way and let the lad just keep going, maybe try and get a corner out of it, but certainly took the sting right out of that good promising move down that right hand side.
Good play by Gerald Taylor, who played in 2 of Costa Rica's Copa America games, a late sub and a 0-0 draw with Brazil, and played the full game when they beat Paraguay 2-1. 7 caps now for his country. It's a loan deal at the moment from Deportivo Saprissa in his homeland. looking to see if he can impress like Kenneth Vargas did last season. Maybe got work to do here as Spurs come down the left. Donnelly, early ball into the box. Oyegoke almost caught out there by Heung-min-son, but Hearts work their way out of trouble and it's cleared by Taylor. Tagawa battling for it. Tries to play inside to Danda. Blocked by Danda, and now with a chance for Hearts with Forrest. Edge of the box, slips it to Jan Danda. Danda on the angle, onto his right foot, looking for space. Across to Devlin and over the crossbar. That was good work from Hearts there though. Jan Danda involved. Slipped it to Cammy Devlin, first time shot flying over the crossbar. That encouraged the home support.
Yeah, it's unlucky, Cammy Devlin. He does the right thing. I think if he takes a touch, he might have been pressed, but he takes it first time. He doesn't get a good connection on it, tries to keep it underneath the bar, but certainly good footwork there from Jan Danda, which I would expect because he looks very, very comfortable on the ball, as we know.
We've seen it when he was at Ross County over the last 2 years. 79 appearances, 18 assists and 12 goals in that time. But Hearts have defending to do now. Son, poor pass that time, cut out by Hearts. Forrest bundled into by Son. And that will be a free kick to the men in maroon. 127 caps for South Korea now. Son Heung-min. And as I mentioned, 27 goal involvements for Spurs last season. Outstanding player for the London side as Madison come forward on the left, but challenged by Oda. Probably a throw to Spurs. Bissouma challenged by Tagawa. No foul. And the ball goes the way of Hearts. We've played 6 minutes at Tynecastle Park. A sunny evening in Edinburgh. Heart of Midlothian 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0.
Just a couple of very calm bits of defending there by Oyegoke. Well, apart from that one there.
Famous last words, he's given it away there now. Here's Kulusevski, good challenge though by George Grant, and eventually cleared by Hearts, but Jimmy Sanderson tempting fate there as Daniel Oyegoke.
I was just going to say, he was a couple of situations he was very, very calm, in a situation where I was quite panicky up here. But
he was a bit too calm on that occasion.
He just took it to a different level there.
Spurs again looking to attack down the left. Solomon. Donnelly to Porro, but first time ball is easily cut out by Kent in the end. Hearts pick up with Kai Rolls. Early ball forward looking for Tagawa. A little bit of a miscontrol there by Oliver Skip, and I think if Kioski Tago had been aware of it, he might have been able to rob the makeshift centre back. But he got away with it that time. There's Archie Gray, who I distinctly remember picking out with you, Jimmy Sanderson, as the standout when we played Leeds last season.
Yep.
Shows in the deal he's managed to get with Spurs, who come forward now. Brennan Johnson with a little flick in the box, but again Hearts managed to repel the attack and come away with it. Danda. Forrest under pressure from Archie Gray. It's lovely play from Spurs in the middle. Madison. Pass finds Son. Shot blocked by Oyegoke. Now Bissouma. Son once more. Now Oliver Skip picks up everyone apart from Spurs goalkeeper Austin, now in the Hearts half. Here's Donnelly down the left, chance to cross, goes low, blocked away by that man Oyegoke. And it will be the first corner of the game, and it goes the way of Spurs.
Yeah, they're very comfortable on the ball. Spurs not going through Madison. You'd expect that. But it's a good test, certainly an increase in standard from Saturday, and that's exactly what we require.
Bissouma. Hearts sitting very deep at the moment, following that corner. Spurs patiently probing, looking for the opening. It's Pedro Porro. Kulusevski. Hearts felt the ball had gone out in the Wheatfield stand side, but play goes on. We've seen Ange Postecoglou teams before at Tynecastle under Celtic. We're going to expect them to dominate possession. Move the ball around quickly, patiently though. It's a loose pass in the end, giving Hearts back possession. Not many options up the field though. Again, Taylor who'd stepped out. Hearts play it forward. It'll go all the way through for the Spurs goalkeeper, but Gerald Taylor found himself in the left wing there, and he's now trotting back to right back.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that. I don't know if he did it purposely or not, or he just came across with his run and stayed where he was, but he found himself in Kai Roll's area, but he's certainly got himself back into his right full back area now.
Here's Brennan Johnson, early ball into the Hearts box. It zips across it, but no takers for Spurs, and eventually out for a throw. Brennan Johnson is such a threat from those wide areas. 10 assists last season, joint most at Spurs. Maybe just a bit too much pace in that final ball on that occasion.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I'm all for putting the ball in first time. I think it gives defenders less time to look at it and decide what they're going to do, but there was actually no one at all that was going to get on the end of that pacey cross in the box.
Jan Danda dinks it forward. Forrest takes it down well, waits for some support. It's a good challenge by Archie Gray though. Just needed someone else ahead of him. As Cammy Devlin commits a foul on Basuma. He's so composed though, Archie Gray. I think one thing I remember as well is he doesn't physically look like he's a teenager. But he dictated play like a seasoned pro last season, despite having not made his senior debut for Leeds. And he's certainly one to watch for the future after Spurs shelled out what we believe is to be £40 million for him. On the ball at the moment inside the centre circle. Slides it to the right to Johnson. Nice first time pass to Kulusevski. Goes for the drilled cross, but blocked by Grant. And smashed clear by Kai Rolls. Pedro Porro wins it back for Spurs. Now Basuma. Snapping his heels as Cammy Devlin, but Basuma holds him off. Johnson. Run by Son to the byline, just overhit in the end by Brennan Johnson. You certainly can see the free-flowing play there from Spurs looking to open up Hearts, and I think it'll be a case of being patient in this one for Hearts and looking to counter when the opportunity presents itself.
Yeah, you can see that certainly after this period that they have controlled a lot of the ball, Spurs, and you would expect that. There's a number of gifted football players down there in white and blue, that's for sure.
Long ball forward from Gordon. Off the head of Donnelly. And out for a Hearts throw inside Tottenham's half. Good chance for Jamie Donnelly, just 19. Stephen Naismith barking instructions. Came up against Spurs as an Everton player. Long throw from Taylor, bouncing into the Tottenham box, picked up by Gray. And the goalkeeper did not want that pass back there. Brandon Austin giving the ball right on his goal line, and he goes safety first, just knocks it clear, and Hearts have a corner.
Well, he didn't mess about, did he? I mean, all the calmness we're seeing from other Spurs players, the goalie just, it was a bit of a squeak. He could have opened his body and come out the right back area if he was a wee bit quicker thought process, but he just put it right out the park, and that was no nonsense taken there.
Jan Danda plays the corner short to Grant. Back with Danda. Tried to play it back the way Hearts have been forced back towards the halfway line though, which will be a bit frustrating for a few in the crowd, but they're going again. Danda plays it through, Devlin after it. Chance for the cut back, good sliding challenge. And then the flag goes up against Cammy Devlin. Has been playing a more attacking role at times under Stephen Naismith, Cammy Devlin. 3 goals last season. Couldn't beat the offside trap on that occasion, and now Spurs have it. Here's Yves Basuma. Back with Gray on the halfway line again. 14 minutes on the clock. Goalless at Tynecastle. Nice pass through. Pedro Porro into space. Cuts it across the box, and Taylor had to knock that clear before Solomon got in at the back post. Good defending. Spurs have a second corner.
Yeah, you seen it coming across. It was a good little passage of play from Spurs. They whip it round the corner, and he's got to be there, Gerard Taylor, and he is.
There's Solomon once more. Gets it back from Madison. Whips the ball into the box. Evades everyone in the end, though, and that will just be a Hearts goal kick. Signed on his 5-year deal last summer, the Israeli international Solomon. Drifting into the back post, but that man, Gerald Taylor, was there to deny him. It's a nice ball from Porro. That's good alert defending from Taylor. I think the Hearts fans will be reasonably impressed in the opening 15 minutes.
The good thing about it, he's seen it from the opposite side of the park, so he's got enough time to know where his attacker is, his opponent, and get himself goal side, and it was decent defending.
Flick by Kyosuke Tagawa, breaks back to George Grant. All the way back to Craig Gordon. Got a few seagulls around us at Tynecastle again. It was a bit of a problem against Orient on Saturday. We actually had hawk noises being played over the PA system before kick-off to try and deter them. Might need to play them again soon as Basuma comes forward. Shot blocked by Frankie Kent. Bounces into the box. And in the end, Craig Gordon, the captain, gives his teammates a shout and comes and collects. Frankie Kent starting today after coming off the bench against Orient at the weekend. Hearts have been sloppy there. Eventually cleared through Oyegoke, but Spurs pressing high, and we're going to get plenty of that. An Ange Postecoglou team is constantly going to press high up the park, I think.
Yeah.
No matter what the game, whether it's pre-season or not.
Yeah, it's just his style, isn't it? It's as simple as that.
Ball forward to Brennan Johnson. First time ball into the box, not a bad one, but flicked away by Frankie Kent. Donnelly putting Oda under pressure. Eventually back with Spurs though, still controlling possession. Kulusevski, Son. Now to Solomon, to try and get it back to Madison. Oda back there helping out his defence, it's still in the Hearts box though. Madison twisting, turning, curls it in right footed, but it drifts wide of the far post in the end. Such a hard player to keep tabs on, James Maddison. Another 40 million signing last season from Leicester City. 9 assists last campaign, as well as 4 goals. Seven caps for England as well now. He's certainly come on leaps and bounds since his short spell in Scotland a few years ago. Here's Kulusevski. Nice 1-2, right side of the Hearts box here, chance to cross, gets away from Kai Rolls, goes down very dramatically there, and it will just be a goal kick. I think he was outside the area anyway, but not an awful lot of claims there from Dejan Kulusevski, the Swedish international. I think that may suggest he knows he was being a trifle dramatic with his
he's probably
drop to the ground there.
Yeah, he's probably just understood that he's not going to get on the end of his little clip with his right foot. I think it's going to go over the line, so yeah, little attempt to try and draw the referee's attention, failed miserably.
Matthew McDermott not interested in that one, and it will be a Hearts goal kick. 18 minutes on the clock now. Hearts 0, Spurs 0. Ball forward from Gordon. Bit of head tennis in the middle of the park. Almost drops to Kulusevski. Picked up though by George Grant. Maroon options now ahead of him. Out to the left to Forrest, into the box on the angle. Forrest blocked by Pedro Porro. And that will be a second Hearts corner.
Yeah, decent run from George Grant. He just needed somebody ahead of him. He looked up and there was nothing, that he just waited, and he did really well to compose himself. Forrest made the overlap on the left hand side. Decent defending in the end from Spurs.
Jan Danda will again take the corner, left hand side. Everyone back for Spurs. Danda whips it in, decent ball, flicked away at the near post. I think it was Oliver Skip back into the danger area. Oda's header, and that's tipped away by goalkeeper Austin. I thought the flag might have been raised, but It will be another corner, and that's the biggest chance of the game so far.
Well, he really needs to score. I mean, that is a wonderful save. I actually agree with you. I thought he was offside.
No, I think it's because Oliver Skipp is maybe stepping out quite late. I think that could be a good call by the assistant, and Yutaro Oda denied at point blank range. That's a really strong hand by Brandon Austin.
Super save that.
Hearts corner, this time from the right, curled in. Missed by everyone on that occasion though. George Grant tries to pick up, goes down, but no foul. And eventually the move breaks down and the Spurs throw. But despite Spurs controlling most of the play early on, that's the best chance of the game so far, and it goes the way of Hearts.
Yeah, if anything, any criticism, it's kind of central. If he just picks a side, he's scoring, he's that close in that anything would go in the back of net. Anything near the goalkeeper needs to be a really good save, and there was in that situation.
5 goals last season for Yutaro Oda. As Gerald Taylor comes bombing forward. Great run by the fullback. Maybe just going a little bit too far, but he's won it back from Oliver Skipp here. Terrific perseverance. Curled in. Tago, a volley wide of the right post. And Gerald Taylor at the heart of that for the men in maroon. Got the ball into the box, and Tagawa's volley just screwed wide. And it stays 0-0.
Well, it's all about Taylor's aggression down that right hand side, his pace, his willingness to knock it past people and get into a leg race. Taga really should score. It's a decent ball in. He's 6-7 yards out, kind of central. He should be scoring.
Now Spurs turn to come forward. Little nutmeg on Oda by Kulusevski. Good challenge though by Devlin to win it for Hearts, and then quick feet from Gerald Taylor. He's had a very positive 21 minutes so far as Cammy Devlin goes flying into a tackle there on James Madison, and that was a little bit rash there from the Hearts midfielder.
Yeah, he's had a couple. He has had a couple of little nibbles at people. Referee's going to do well not to bring any cards out, but it's what Cammy Devlin does. Likes to get in and around people. It certainly has been a little bit of a purple patch for Taylor the last 2 or 3 minutes. Super run down that right hand side.
It's a sore one for Madison. He had some injury concerns last season. Missed a few months around the turn of the year. Such a creative force for Tottenham Hotspur. Some concerns for the away side at the moment. Catches him on the boot.
Yeah, I think he just catches him on the instep.
I think in a competitive game there certainly would have been a card being shown there to Cammy Devlin.
I would agree.
His fellow Aussie Ange Postecoglou won't be too happy with his countrymen after that one. Watching on from the sideline. He ended his first season in 5th place, Ange Postecoglou. It was a marked improvement on the 8th place that Spurs recorded the season prior, qualifying for Europe again, although they'll be disappointed to miss out on the Champions League by just 2 points in the end. Still James Madison receiving treatment for Spurs. He's back on his feet. I think Cammy Devlin is now just going to go over and receive some instructions from Stephen Naismith. Moving a little gingerly, James Madison, but looks like he'll be okay.
Yeah, I didn't think it was high up on the ankle. It looked like it was just in the instep. Still a sore thing. Let's hope he's all fine.
Should be reminding Cammy Devlin it's a friendly match.
No such a thing.
Hold back at the tackles a little bit.
No such a thing.
I think in the VAR age, if that's competitive, they might be having another look at it, to be honest. Anyway, play goes on 0-0 at the moment. There's Johnson. Basuma on the right. Once more Hearts get men behind the ball. Eventually back with Spurs. Looked like Hearts might have a little opportunity there, but Tottenham in possession now with Pedro Porro at right back, the Spaniard. Son. Nice slide rule pass. Finds Johnson, first time ball into the box. Cut out by Frankie Kent. Does have to concede the corner though.
Certainly Johnson doesn't mess about when he's in a wide area. Sometimes he looks, sometimes he doesn't.
Ball played into the box early by Spurs, and Jan Danda had to clear. No one up the field in maroon, though. Hearts were leaving a player up the field at the weekend, which isn't like them from corners, but Leyton Orient looked very threatening from set plays, and it looks like Hearts have reverted to maybe getting everyone back again. Oliver Skip rolls it to the left. We know that Ange Postecoglou does like to play the inverted fullbacks, and it's even more prevalent in this one, I think, with Donnelly especially, who's a forward. As Tagawa closes down Archie Gray, almost caught him out there. I think there might have been a foul given, but snapping at the heels there, Tagawa. James Maddison. Archie Gray once more on the halfway line, looking for options around him. Here's Pedro Porro. Carries the ball forward. Johnson in the wide right area. He's the 1-2 with Son. Captain Heungminson picks up again midway inside the Hearts half. Madison. Kulusevski looks for Son in the box. Lovely move. Son's shot denied by Craig Gordon. Super flowing move there from Tottenham Hotspur. The captain at the heart of it. In on goal and denied by the Scotland keeper to keep things at 0-0. Great save.
Well, something to tag it was, if he picks a corner, it's a goal. It's a lovely move right throughout that Spurs move there. Lots of flicks round corners, people really comfortable on the ball. He kind of hits it kind of central. It has to still be stopped by Craig Gordon. He does that really well.
It's brilliant play here. Starts the move midway inside the Hearts half. Nice link-up play. Kulusevski slips it back to the South Korean. And you'd put your money on him scoring from that range.
Certainly with his left foot, you think he's going to open his body and go to Craig Gordon's right. It's really quite central, and it's a save that, you know, it's a good save, but you'd expect Craig to make that. If he just opens his body up and goes a wee bit more wider to his right hand, Craig's right hand side, it's maybe a first goal.
Former Bayer Leverkusen player, Son, denied by Craig Gordon, but you would certainly expect him to do better with that one as Hearts come forward now. Forrest driving down the left side. Pedro Porro with him. Back with George Grant in line with the 18-yard box. Spurs get players back. Here's Jan Danda. Gets it back from Grant. Oyegoke spreads the play to Taylor. Loses out to Solomon that time. The move just breaks down there, but Alan Forrest got himself into a dangerous position. Just couldn't quite find space for the cross. It's Cammy Devlin closed down by Kulusevski. Could be a chance here for Spurs. Madison goes down under the challenge of Cammy Devlin again, and that will be a free kick to Tottenham Hotspur in a very dangerous position, edge of the box. Yeah. That time it didn't look like it was an awful lot in the challenge, but enough to send Madison to the turf, and this free kick is what, just over 20 yards out left of centre.
You think it'll be a Madison area? Kulusevski there just picking wee Devlin's pocket there, just being cute enough to work on his first touch. He's in and around him, robbing him.
I'd be very surprised if anyone apart from James Madison hit this one.
Kulusevski's come across for a wee debate about it, but
would favour the right foot of Madison. Nice position here if you can get it up and over the wall. So Madison with the set play. 28.5 minutes played. Curled in, right into the Hearts wall though. Smashed clear. And in fact, I think it was Frankie Kent who maybe took the full force of that one. He's down on the turf just now. Heart of Midlothian 0. Tottenham Hotspur 0. Right into the face, I think, of Frankie Kent in the end. He made his mark at Leicester City, did Maddison. Over 200 appearances, FA Cup winner, which is why he was eagerly sought and acquired by Tottenham. So at this point, when Tottenham Hotspur were last at Tynecastle in 2011, they were 3-0 up, so that's a marked improvement from a Hearts perspective at this point of the game. That was the last meeting in Edinburgh, the sides, 5-0, Van der Vaart, Defoe, Livermore, Bale and Lennon, the goal scorers. Second leg, 0-0 at White Hart Lane, but a much changed Tottenham side in that one. The Tynecastle meeting prior to that was in 1999, a 2-2 draw. Colin Cameron, Lee Makel for Hearts after Spurs had been 2-0 up. The Hearts team that included the likes of Gilles Rousset, Thomas Flogel, Paul Ritchie, Steve Fulton, Gary Locke and a certain Gary Wales. Spurs included Sol Campbell, Stefan Everson, David Ginola and a very young Ledley King. So we have a look at the Hearts bench there. Lawrence Shankland back now after his break following the Euros. I'm sure he'll be keen to get on at some point, the 31 goal hero for Hearts last season. Still Frankie Kent down at the moment. I'm not sure if they're just making sure there was no possibility of a concussion there. He did take it full force in the face. Craig Halkett on the bench tonight. He started against Leyton Orient, but safe to say he looked a little rusty.
Yeah, okay.
Stephen Naismith just waiting to see if a change is required. Frankie Kent is back on his feet. Gets the applause from the home supporters as he trudges to the sideline. 15,500 here today. As I mentioned, 2,000 Spurs fans. Healthy crowd in the Edinburgh evening sunshine. Players resumed. Hearts down to 10 for now, and I think Frankie Kent will have to come off. Kai Rolls has gone to the centre of defence for now. Hopefully that's just a precautionary measure, given it's a friendly today. Taking Halkett off. Taking Kent off for Halkett, I should say. There's Pedro Porro. Goes for the switch of play. Solomon nicely taken down left side of the Hearts box. Maybe a chance to cross. Goes for the cut back. Eventually cleared by Cammy Devlin. Only Tago up the field for now, which means Spurs will retain possession. Here's Donnelly. Manor Solomon, who's been dropping out to the wide area, allowing Donnelly to come central at times, which is how Ange Postecoglou likes to play. Look for the overloads, pushing those fullbacks into the central areas, allowing space for others. Here is Donnelly into the box, goes for the cut back, not a bad ball, but cleared by Oyagoke. It'll be a Spurs corner, and Hearts will now make the change. Craig Halkett on. As I mentioned, his last competitive appearance was in February against Airdrie. Only lasted 26 minutes. Not had an awful lot of football last season. And this will be a test for him today against the Premier League side. Short corner by Spurs. Back to Bissouma. Solomon looking for room. Goes for the 1-2 in Madison. Nicely worked. But Hearts crowd him out in the end. Good play between Forrest and Danda. And a lovely ball down the line to Yutaro Oda. Not much support for now. Tries to take it for a run, but dispossessed by Pedro Porro. Very few options there for Yutaro Oda, unfortunately. Pedro Porro stood up well. Spurs have it back again. Bissouma to Kulusevski. Long diagonal from Gray. It's missed by Taylor that time. Solomon picks up. Moves onto his right foot, twisting and turning, looking for room. Good turn of pace, but Cammy Devlin there to cover. Hearts doubling up well and ensuring that space is restricted for Spurs when they do get into the final third, but they've conceded possession again. 10 minutes left in the first half. Holmes breaks to Son. Porro in there, goes down. No foul, says Matthew McDermott, and Hearts come away with it. Yutaro Oda. He loses possession now though. Solomon. Son. Kulusevski works it to Johnson in the box on the angle. Drives it goalwards, but well blocked by Kai Rolls. Nodded away by Forrest. Picked up by Tago, but deep inside his own half. And Archie Gray's won it back for Spurs. Right now, Hearts push back very deep. I think there's an issue with the ball, actually. A few of the players saying maybe it's...
they're not getting enough of it.
The ball's burst.
The ball's burst.
Players on both sides were saying there's an issue with the ball, so it's not just Hearts. We need a replacement. Play resumes with that replacement ball. Goalless at Tynecastle. Spurs controlling things, but Hearts with a couple of opportunities. They've had probably the best one of the game for Oda, although Heungminson probably should have finished his chance as well. Here is Oda. Danda driving forward. Good overlapping run by Gerald Taylor. Right side of the Spurs box. Curls it in. Tago Wade touches it wide. I'm not sure if the flag was going to go up anyway, but that was a big opportunity for the Japanese. Again, Gerald Taylor involved. Whipping it across the box. Tago just couldn't divert it goalwards. I thought he might have looked off when the ball came in, but either way, he probably should finish it.
I think he's probably onside, Laurie, but you're absolutely right. He should be finishing those things. I mean, it's not a difficult thing in a sense. It's coming across as a good weight. He's coming onto it. Just needs to get some kind of contact with it.
There's Pedro Porro for Spurs. Looks for Brennan Johnson running towards the byline. Knocks it against Kai Rolls and wins Tottenham Hotspur their 6th corner. Again, it's played short. And back with Pedro Porro, 25 yards out. Curls that cross in, but well overhit by the Spanish international. I think he'll go out for a throw-in in the end. But Kyosuke Tagawa with a golden opportunity there. 3 goals last season, including that fantastic strike against Rangers on the final day, but that was really put on a plate to him by Gerald Taylor.
Yeah, the more you look at it, the more you think it's, it's Sabano's coming across on his weaker foot, his left side. It's got a big part open. He just needs to get some kind of contact, knock it towards goal, and it's a goal.
There's Kulusevski for Spurs. Rolls it to Johnson, low across the box. Great sliding challenge there by Kai Rolls. Another corner for Spurs, but Brennan Johnson's pace in wide areas is certainly starting to stretch that Hearts defence.
Yeah, Kai Rolls makes a really good sliding challenge here, because if he doesn't get a contact on that, you just don't know where that ball's going to go.
Corner played short to Pedro Porro. Now Donnelly. Curling to the back post, lovely ball, chance for Solomon, vital interception by Gerald Taylor. That was a delicious cross there from young Jamie Donnelly, and it looked for a moment like Manor Solomon might just stroke that one home. But Gerald Taylor again, who's been really lively in his first half, I think just got a vital touch on it. Here goes Spurs again though. Madison across the box, and this time knocked in. Denied moments ago, Spurs, but this time it's Brennan Johnson who smashes in from close range. Well worked. James Madison, the architect, with a cutback. And Brennan Johnson, he got 5 goals last season in his first Spurs season. Really could make no mistake from a couple of yards out. And the Premier League club ahead now. Part of Midlothian 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1.
Yeah, it was clinical, it was sharp. There had a little moment just before that with Kai Rolls slid in and cut the ball out. They're just trying to get that ball across the 6-yard line with a bit of pace, with the opposite winger coming in. It blocked in that moment there. But they've certainly been probing, they've been nice and neat and sharp in wide areas. Can't deny them their goal.
Brennan Johnson finishing it off there. Almost £50 million it cost Tottenham Hotspur from Nottingham Forest last summer. And you can see the quality there from the Welsh international. His Hearts pick up though with George Grant. Did they have a response here? Alan Forrest in the box. Goes to the cut back, but well blocked by Pedro Porro, and it came back off Forrest. It will be a goal kick. But he's found some room at times on that left-hand side, Alan Forrest.
He has. He just needed to organise his feet a wee bit quicker. It's a nice ball out from George Grant. Touches just a little bit encouraging the full-back in to make that sliding challenge in. Certainly Pedro Porro shows a clean pair of heels there, getting back to cover that challenge.
You might have anticipated it would be the other side that Hearts would get most of their joy. Gerald Taylor has certainly found some room, but so has Forrest. But here goes Spurs again with Solomon. Early ball looking for Heung-min-son, but couldn't control it. And it rolls wide of the post. And he should have done better with that one, the Korean, and he knows it.
Yeah, well, we said earlier, I mean, they don't mess about in wide areas. They get the ball into the box, don't they? Good pace. It's maybe just slightly overhit. Does he expect a better touch? He probably does.
It's one thing you'll get with an Ange Postecoglou team. There will be spaces in those wide areas because of how high the fullbacks tend to push on. At the same time, though, they get so many bodies forward that you've got to get the ball up the other end of the park first. Hearts 0, Tottenham 1, but it's safe to say Hearts have performed a lot better today than what we saw against Leyton Orient on Saturday, especially given the calibre of opposition. But here's Pedro Porro coming forward again, and that is a poor finish in the end, well over the crossbar. Again, showing those fullbacks moving into the attacking positions. Pedro Porro this time ghosting in behind the Hearts defence. And although he's a fullback, he got 4 goals last season, and he'll probably feel he should have done better with that when he moved it onto his favoured right foot.
Yeah, he kind of runs round the ball to get onto his stronger right foot. You know, in a sense, it's maybe a left-footed finish. But certainly, again, just the ball through Son there, a little flick round the corner. Good movement from the fullback.
Stephen Naismith said it's that way of playing that he took to, that he got from Ange Postecoglou. We saw it very evidently when he first took over as Hearts interim boss. That's why he's kept in touch with the Aussie. His Hearts pick up through George Grant. Now Jan Danda. It's lively when he came off the bench at the weekend against Leyton Orient. And Taylor again looks to drive forward, probably been Hearts' best player in this first half. Whipped into the area, flicked away by Archie Gray. Drops to Forrest, still in the box, shot blocked away, pinging around in there, bit of pinball. Devlin volleys it goalwards, but really just hanging a boot out at, and it drifts wide. Certainly there's signs that Hearts can get at that Spurs team at the back.
Yeah, certainly on the right hand side, Gerald Taylor again doing decent wing play, getting the ball into the box again, asking a question. This comes back to Devlin, who didn't look like he was set to play.
Ball over the top towards Son, but offside that time. And free kick to Hearts. They have a rich history together, Hearts and Spurs. First meeting coming in 1901, a 0-0 draw at White Hart Lane in a World Championship match between the Scottish and England Cup winners. As Gerald Taylor looks to come forward, well covered by Oliver Skipp. Last Hearts win against Tottenham was a friendly 1971, 2-1. Still time for that today. Although certainly Tottenham look like they've got a few goals in them as well. As Jan Danda picks up on the right for Hearts, midway inside Spurs territory. Tries to dance his way through. Drops to Oda. Bit of a congested penalty area. Eventually Spurs come away with it. Kulusevski. Tagawa challenges, but Kulusevski shrugs him off. Now Son inside the Hearts half. Manor Solomon. Heung-min-son continues his run, trying to skip away from Grant, who stood up well, got the challenge in, and it ricochets back off Son and goes out for a Hearts goal kick.
Yeah, he said he did a wee bit of defending there, George Grant, just in behind Taylor in that wide right area.
Approaching the end of the first half here. Brennan Johnson's goal separating the side, set up by James Maddison. There's been chances at both ends though. The bulk of possession held by Spurs. Solomon challenging Taylor, but out for a Hearts throw. There's Bissouma on the left. Does well to slip it inside to Kulusevski and gets it back. Good build up from defence and out to the right from Spurs. Brennan Johnson racing after it, but just couldn't catch that Son pass. And we'll just go for a throw, and that might be the last meaningful action of the half. Indeed, no added time from referee Matthew McDermott. And a warm round of applause from both sets of supporters at the end of the opening 45 here. Heart and Midlothian have had a couple of chances themselves. Kyosuke Tagawa should have done better with one across the box. Yutaro Oda, his fellow Japanese, probably should have buried one earlier. At the other end, Heungminson, the Spurs captain, was denied by Craig Gordon, but that man on screen, Brennan Johnson, finished from close range after the cutback from James Maddison, who'd recovered from that clumsy challenge from Cammy Devlin to supply that ball and give his side the lead at the break. Certainly all to play for in this pre-season friendly in the second half. At the break, Heart of Midlothian 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1. And Lawrence Shankland, 31 goals last season, 24 in the league. Returns to the field of play. Was involved off the bench at the Euros. And Barry Mackay, Hearts number 10 for the upcoming season, also coming on. He started against Leyton Orient at the weekend. So it looks like Shankland will go up top for Kyosuke Tagawa. Barry Mackay comes in for Yutaro Oda for the second period. And I can tell you, Spurs have a raft of players in front of their bench prepared to come on.
They have. I think the majority of the subs that were warming up at half-time have just stayed on the park, just taken their training tops off, stayed on the park.
I think there's 16 substitutes on the Spurs bench.
I'll be disappointed if you don't get them all right, Laurie.
So I will wait rather than stumble my way through them as it goes. Just having a look at who we can definitely see about to come on for Tottenham Hotspur. There's a lot of younger players on the bench, which I certainly won't have seen, and maybe a few Spurs fans won't have seen either, so a chance to get a look at some of them, as well as a few who've been in and out of the first team squad. So I'm just going to see if this might be a second half 11 like Leyton Orient had on Saturday.
It does look like it, doesn't it?
Well, certainly the goalkeeper has changed for the second period. I think it might be Alfie Whiteman has come on in goals in place of Brandon Austin, who made that terrific save from Yutaro Oda in the first half. But I will run through the Spurs changes and a nice list when we have them, but Hearts will get us underway for the second half, shooting towards the Gorgie end. Skipper Lawrence Shankland to get us started. Timo Werner is one of the players who is coming on, the on loan Leipzig man. Some recognised first team players in there. Hearts get us underway for the second period. Spurs will be shooting towards their supporters in the Roseburn stand. One of the substitutes, Ashley Phillips, the 19-year-old centre-back, gets his first touch. And back to Alfie Whiteman, who's come on in goals. It's given away by Spurs. Shankland, early chance, and he scored! 30 seconds after the restart. Welcome back, Lawrence Shankland. He does what he does best, finds the back of the net, but it's a disaster at the back for Tottenham Hotspur. And we're all square. Heart of Midlothian 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's Emerson Royale. He just tries to be a wee bit fancy there, and he gets cut out, and it's an easy finish in the end. You'd expect Shankland to finish 6-7 yards out, centre of goals. Just tries to pop it in the corner there. Shankland not going to miss from that opportunity at that distance.
And it's a calamity at the back for Spurs. Danda is touching the ball to Shankland, who played it low past the goalkeeper. And just like we had at the weekend, a goal in the opening minute of the second half. This time though it goes for Hearts. Went for Orient on Saturday. We are level. So looking at the team for the second half. Just seeing if any players did make it. I think we have got a full change of 11. Whiteman, Spence, Royale, Phillips, Robson, Hall, Bergvall, Devine, Moore, Lancashire and Werner, the Spurs second half team. Here's Jan Danda. Lost out to Jed Spence, the 23-year-old fullback. One of those changes. And now back with Spurs with Phillips. Out to the left to Werner. Skips in past Taylor. Challenged by Devlin. It will break back to Spurs though. It was an opportunity there, but it's broken down. I think it was Lancashire trying to pick up. And eventually won back by Cammy Devlin. Here's George Grant. Nice little drop with the shoulder. Hearts looking to push forward on the break. In the end it's back though to Kai Rolls. And now with Xander Clark. Given away to Spurs on the right. Nice quick feet there from Alfie Devine. Back with Emerson Royale at the heart of that issue at the back there. The Brazilian international, one of the more experienced players on the field for Spurs in the second half. Tottenham in possession just inside the Hearts half of the field at the moment. The home side get men behind the ball. Phillips inside the centre circle. Confirmation of the changes on screen now for both sets of teams, at least the Hearts ones anyway. Sure, our graphic guys are still furiously trying to put together all those Spurs changes. Chance here for Bergvall, who drags that one well wide. One of the summer signings for Spurs. 8.5 million for the young Swede. Promising player, already an international. No real purchase behind that shot though. Here's Taylor for Hearts. Good pass by Jan Danda, but so far the Hearts fans were really pleased with what they've seen from Taylor. In a position which Hearts really need to strengthen. Right back. Here's Jan Danda, left hand side. Back to George Grant. Spurs get men behind the ball this time. Grant steps away from Bergvall, tripped by the teenager. Hearts free kick.
Yeah, Taylor was exceptional in that first half, wasn't he, up against Manor Solomon. He's now got Timo Werner there.
Here is Taylor, midway inside the Spurs half. Barry Mackay dinks the ball down the line, ricochets off Devlin and out. Nice turning the ball by Tyrese Hall. Spurs with a bit of space on the right hand side. Running into it is Mikey Moore. Tempo just dropping a little bit out there, 5 minutes into the second half. Sometimes inevitable with all those changes, takes a little bit of momentum out of the game. little bit of space here on the right for Alfie Devine again. Hearts sitting quite deep just now, though, restricting the room for Tottenham Hotspur. It's back with Royale. Now the ball out to the left to Timo Werner. Overlapping run down the line came from Max Robson. Eventually the ball does make its way into the Hearts box, but picked up by George Grant. And now Jan Danda. Back heel probably wasn't the right choice there, and it's back with Spurs with Timo Werner. Loan contract was extended at the end of last season. They have an option to buy for the German, 8.5 million. Spurs work it to the right of the Hearts box here. Shankland challenging Devine. Eventually back with Royale. Everyone apart from goalkeeper Whiteman currently inside the Hearts half of the field. Werner in the wide position. Looks to take on Taylor. It's a good test of the Costa Rican in the second half. A loose pass by Werner. Now here's Barry Mackay. Taylor. Sliding in was Hall. And Hearts will look at the teams in the second half and feel there is an opportunity. Certainly a far weaker Spurs team without a doubt. Far more inexperienced in the second period.
Yeah, you'd have to concede that, but again, they look like under Postecoglou just controlling the ball. All very comfortable in possession.
We'll say that the Leyton Orient second team didn't do too badly in the second half.
They were excellent, weren't they?
And talked about the tempo in the first half. It's certainly pre-season friendly tempo in the second so far. That's a nice flick though. Chance for Spurs, flicked away by Oyegoke. It was Max Robson dashing into the box. Chance again, Bergvall at the byline. Opportunity to cross, goes back the way though. Ball into the area, blocked away. Hearts could get it away cleanly, but they've picked up now. Barry Mackay finds Jan Danda. They're back with George Grant. It's loose though. And now a chance for Spurs to come forward with Spence. The attempted cross eventually from Lancashire. Out for a throw. Emerson Royale. Spurs just knocking the ball around at the moment. Hearts quite happy to let them do so. Maybe not quite the same punch in that Spurs team with it, the likes of Madison, Kulusevski, Son. But they found Timo Werner here in a bit of room out on the left. Back into the box. Picked up well by Hearts. Jan Danda looks for Shankland. Can't get away from Ashley Phillips though. So from a Spurs perspective as well, this is a good test for some of these youngsters in the second half, and they've worked it out to Timo Werner again. Takes on Taylor. Drilled across the box. Vital interception from Craig Halkett. Good work from Timo Werner. We know what he can do, and that was a real teasing ball into the 6-yard area.
It was. Craig Halkett a bit pleased with that defensive clearance there. Werner's got pace, hasn't he?
Here he is again, the German. Finds Royale, edge of the box. Bergvall slipped into the area towards Spence, but really good covering from George Grant. Tried to play it out though and almost got Hearts into bother. Eventually cleared up the field, but not many options in maroon further up the park right now. Spurs go again. Slipped into the box. Chance here, and it's slipped into the bottom corner. And it's William Lancashire who finishes well. Nice move from Spurs. The youngster slipped in, and it's a really cool finish there. I think it was Jed Spence at the heart of it. And they've had a lot of the ball in the second half, that younger Spurs team. They've made it count with that run from Lancashire, and it's an excellent finish in the end.
Yeah, it is. He just comes in at the back of Craig Halkett there, I think. Oyegoke playing him on. It's a nice easy finish in the end, isn't it? He just needs to hit the target. They've been very comfortable in the second half. This second string from Spurs have moved the ball really nice and neat.
Former Arsenal and Sheffield United youngster William Lancashire, still just 19. Showed good composure there though, and restores Spurs 1-goal advantage.
The whole came just from a clearance from George Grant, that bottom right hand corner. Just tried to get a bit of length on it, try to get Hearts out their box, so to speak, but it came back very quickly.
Here's Danda driving forward on the left. Forrest overlapping. Danda comes inside. Eventually breaks to Taylor on the edge of the box. Onto his left foot, low shot, but fairly comfortable save in the end for Alfie Whiteman. And he's certainly sure he likes to get forward. Gerald Taylor. There's Bergvall. Here's Barry Mackay inside the centre circle. Slips it through looking for Devlin. Maybe an opportunity here for Hearts. Jan Danda. First time ball. Blocked away by Ashley Phillips. Some claims for handball. It will just be a corner kick.
Yeah, it's in and around his midriff. It's probably the right decision. But it was a good ball in. That's what Danda needed to do. Get it in first time. Shankland was bearing down on that penalty spot and just needed a better ball.
Hearts corner from the right in front of the Gorgie stand. Jan Danda stands over it. Whipped into the near post. It's not a good corner, but it ricochets around between two Spurs players. It eventually finds its way into the hands of Whiteman. Some more handball claims there, and the kick from the goalkeeper is really poor eventually. 58 minutes in, Hearts 1, Spurs 2, but that was a slightly nervy moment from what actually wasn't the best of corners. Spurs looking to come forward in the right, ball into the box. Lancashire again, left foot shot, blocked by Oyegoke. Eventually picked up by Devlin, and it might be a chance here for Hearts on the break with Spurs committed forward. Barry Mackay to Danda, slowing things in a little too much, and it's good tracking back in the end from Max Robson. It will just be a throw to Heart of Midlothian.
Yeah, we never broke the pace, did we, through Danda or Mackay there. We didn't look like we wanted to get up the park with any purpose.
Barry Mackay leaves the throw to Taylor here. You can see a few Hearts subs starting to prepare themselves as we approach the hour mark. Ball back with Alfie Whiteman again. I'm sure we'll start to see plenty of maroon changes. I'm just trying to keep an eye on who's going to be coming on. We'll get another look at Musa Drame for sure as Hearts give away again. Chance for Werner, great block by Oyegoke. Still alive for Spurs. Alfie Devine now on the angle. It was Max Robson with a shot in the end, but Hearts block it away. But both sides a little sloppy in defensive areas in the second half.
Yeah, George Grant trying to get across his own 18-yard line there with a poor pass.
Here's Alfie Devine, right side of the box, slips it into the area. Lancashire trying to turn, does well. Right foot shot blocked again by Oyegoke. Still alive for Spurs. Back to Lancashire again. Through a few players and eventually blocked by Rolls, but Hearts pinned back at the moment. Bergvall. Devine with a cut back and eventually knocked clear by Kai Rolls, but Hearts can't get out at the moment. Tottenham Hotspur get a grip of this game after going 2-1 ahead. Spence to Bergvall. And the ball lashed in on the angle. Flying off target in the end from Mikey Moore. But the Spurs second half team just starting to fill with confidence after that second goal. And they go again here. Timo Werner going to get to the byline, but Hearts pick up this time. It was Barry Mackay who was dispossessed, but there was a foul in the corner, and that might well give Hearts a chance to make some changes here. There's Spittle, one of the players who's going to be coming on. Summer signing from Motherwell. Musa Drame as well, ex-Sevilla man. George Grant, one of those going off. I can see Macaulay Tate also coming on. Jan Danda will be one of the other players to be replaced. And I think James Wilson and Aidan Denham will make their way into the fray as well, as I see Gerald Taylor and Cammy Devlin also going off. Warm round of applause from the home fans for the departing players. I think Taylor in particular.
Yeah. You would say he's been the best Hearts player on show this evening, no question about that. Defended really well, got fouled really well, put some super balls into boxes.
So now a much changed team for Hearts as well. Shanklin battling for that long ball forward. Spurs win the throw. 62.5 minutes played. Heart and Midlothian 1, Tottenham Hotspur 2. A bit of space here for Jed Spence to drive into. Slips it down the line. Continues his run here. Goes for the cut back. Blocked away though by Hearts. Linking up with Mikey Moore on that far side. Eventually it falls though to Xander Clark. Didn't get an appearance at the Euros. Angus Gunn, of course, the Scotland #1 at the moment. Hearts free kick out on the left-hand side. Trailing by that one goal. Xander Clark looks like he launches forward as Ange Postecoglou watches on. 10 matches against Hearts as Celtic boss. Lost one of them, his first one here at Tynecastle 3 years ago, but won the next 9 as Shanklin comes forward on the right. Spittle. Shanklin flicks it inside, but giving it back to Spurs on that occasion. There's Timo Werner. It's a poor pass that time by Werner. Straight out of play for the Hearts throw. Didn't do too badly last season. 2 goals against Palace and Villa. Timo Werner. Another chance to impress this campaign, to see if you can win a permanent deal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs in possession. Emerson Royale now at centre back alongside the teenager Ashley Phillips. Spittle, loose pass that time though, picked up by Bergvall. Tottenham fans behind the goal, just over 2,000 of them, looking to G their team up in the second half pre-season friendly lull. They're on the attack now. Bergvall. Hearts still pretty content to stand off Tottenham and let them have most of the possession here. Ball through, Bergvall picking up, slips into the area. Chance here for Spurs again. Mikey Moore twisting and turning, that's a nice finish in the end. And it's 16-year-old Mikey Moore at the end of a free-flowing Tottenham Hotspur move. The manager appreciates that. And the youngster seriously enjoyed himself in front of the travelling Spurs fans. Quick feet in the box. And the low right-footed finish past Sander Clark. And it's Heart of Midlothian 1, Tottenham Hotspur 3.
Yeah, it's just slick, isn't it? As soon as he drove it in the box there, the alarm bells were going off, and all he needs to do really is just keep it down and hit the target in that far corner. He does that really well, doesn't he? As soon as he comes in, cuts back onto his right foot, and a lovely little finish to the far corner. And they're looking slick. Spurs, they're knocking it about really well.
Yeah, the youngsters really settling into this game now. And I think it'll be a substitute, one for a substitute for Spurs. William Lankshire's got his goal, and he's replaced by Alejo Veliz. So we're in that position that we had on Saturday, where the subs are coming on for the subs now. Argentinian Veliz got a goal last season for Spurs against Brighton, promising South American. It looks like he will now lead the line for the final 23 minutes. Phillips plays it to Werner, blocked off by Aidan Denham. Hearts with a few youngsters of their own out there, of course, one of them being Macaulay Tate, sitting role midfield. James Wilson up front, a very promising forward. Aidan Denham is caught offside there. Still young himself, you almost forget that after playing such a pivotal part last season. 25 appearances, Aidan Denham, still only 20. Alejo Veliz now leading the line. He was on loan at Sevilla for the second half of last season. He'll be looking to try and force his way into the first team squad under Ange Postecoglou this campaign, especially with European football now back for Spurs. And they're coming forward now with Timo Werner across the box, dangerous ball, and again Craig Halkett taking vital evasive action.
Yeah, you can see the pace of Werner there on that left hand side. It is, again, it's that good area that Craig Halkett takes up.
Eventually the ball finds its way to Sander Clark, thankfully, from a Hearts perspective. And we're going to get some more changes in a moment. Ball forward. Mr. Dramit couldn't get that one under control. So Oyegoke goes off, and it's Lewis Nielsen making a return for Hearts, the 21-year-old who was on loan Partick Thistle last season. Bailey Dahl comes on. He also came off the bench against Leyton Orient. Another chance for the 20-year-old, who settled in pretty well, I thought, in that game against the League One side.
Yep, looked quite comfortable.
So Dahl to left back, Nielsen to centre back. I think we now are in the position of no players that started the game being on the field for Hearts. Craig Halkett, of course, came on during the first half for Frankie Kent. All change at Tynecastle Park, and it does show in the tempo of the game, but still 20 minutes left. 4 goals so far, 3 for Spurs, 1 for Hearts. No surprises for guessing the Hearts goal scorer, Lawrence Shankland. Brennan Johnson got things up and running for Spurs in the first half, and goals from youngsters William Lankshire and Mikey Moore in the second period. Bergvall dropping deep here for Spurs. They've kept control of possession despite all the changes and the relatively inexperienced nature of the side they have out there now. Coming forward down the left, ball to Timo Werner, looks to take on Denham. Into the box, cut out by James Wilson, getting back there to help out his teammates. I've seen Aidan Denham in that right-sided defence role that Hearts have been trying out. He has played plenty of times before, especially when he was playing in the younger levels. Decent test from up against Timo Werner, who's currently hovering behind him in a bit of space as Spurs come forward in the centre. It's played into that space to Werner now. In the box, onto the left foot, across the area, and it's touched in. And that's a fourth for Spurs, and it's Jed Spence who just knocks it over the line from close range. It was that room that I was talking about that Timo Werner was hovering in this Wheatfield stand side, and he exploits Aidan Denham, cuts the ball across the box, and it's Jed Spence, the fullback, off the bench at half-time, who just slides in to divert it goalwards. That certainly puts to bed any doubt about the result in this friendly. Hearts 1, Spurs 4.
Yeah, there's too much of a gap between Aidan Denham and Werner on that right-hand side. He doesn't really engage until he's in the box, and then he's under pressure. He gets the ball in between the post and Craig Halkett, who's cut a few out at that area, but once it goes past him in there and past Zander Clark, it's an easy tapping in the end.
He's only got 6 appearances for the senior team so far, 23-year-old Jed Spence, but was signed 2 years ago from Middlesbrough for a reported £20 million. Loaned out to Leeds United in Genoa last campaign, but another who'll be hoping to force his way into Ange Postecoglou's plans. On the score sheet in what has been a pretty dominant second half for Spurs. Hearts starting the second period brightly, but since then the youngsters have taken over. Now both sides with a fairly inexperienced team in many ways, with Dahl, Wilson, Tate, even Nielsen and Denham still relatively young at the back for Hearts, so both teams giving some good experience to a few players. Bergvall slipped through the centre. Now Timo Werner picks up again. Run from Villiers. Good challenge by Denham that time, falls to Drame. Spittle goes down by Werner, out for a throw. There's Spittle, big hopes for him this season for Hearts. After 13 goals and 11 assists last season in all competitions for Motherwell. Certainly been playing in a deeper role for Hearts in the couple of friendlies we've seen, but I don't know if that's partly because there's so many options for Hearts in the supporting area. I would say when I've seen him, he's looked best in maybe a number 10 role.
Yeah, you're right. You know, centre part going forward, just in behind the 9, yep. He has had a couple of performances here that he's been slightly deeper.
16 minutes left on the clock. Hearts in possession at the moment. Lewis Nielsen closed down and Craig Halkett has to go back the way to Zander Clark. Here's Bailey Dahl. Blocked off by Mikey Moore. Stephen Naismith. Again, we said it against Leyton Orient on Saturday, you don't really read too much into performances and results in friendly matches, but I'm sure plenty for him to ponder with what he's seeing out there, both positive and negative. Hearts have a game away to Fleetwood to come in terms of recognised friendlies that are played with fans before they play Rangers on the Saturday following, 3rd of August. Spurs will play Vissel Kobe. in Japan. Yutaro Oda's former team on the 27th of July. Before that, Friday night, they play QPR. And a couple of games in South Korea, one of them against Bayern Munich, before they end their pre-season at home to Bayern Munich. They start their league season away to Leicester City on the 19th of August. Ball forward from Royale, cut out by Nielsen. Back with Spurs zone again. Timo Werner's found a lot of space on the left-hand side. Werner takes on Drama across the box. Lovely spin here, and Veliz just couldn't get the ball out his feet. Chancellon, right foot shot in the end from Alfie Devine, blocked away by Hearts, who are hanging on a little bit. Haven't really got going in the second half as James Wilson tries to play it forward, blocked by Royale. You would actually say Hearts look better against that stronger Spurs team in the first half.
And if Veliz had sorted his feet out there from that ball for Werner, it's goal number 5. He just got caught underneath him and he couldn't sort his feet out before it was defended. But you're right, we've kind of completely backed off now and we're second in all departments.
There's Bergvall on the right hand side. Slides a pass through. Chance again. Spence onto it across the box. Chance for Veliz again. And it's over the bar. Jed Spence looking to turn provider that time. Low ball across the box. And Alejo Veliz sliding in way over the crossbar in the end. And he's got a bit of blood there on his nose. I'm not sure the incident that led to that. But Jed Spence certainly showing his desire to get forward from right back, which is what Ange Postecoglou will be looking for. And Veliz just looking to tidy himself up off the field. And Hearts in possession with Aidan Denham. Back to Xander Clark. Lewis Nielsen floating it forward, looking for James Wilson, but cut out by Emerson Royale. Dahl with a challenge on Moore. Xander Clark, 15 clean sheets last season in the league, only bettered by Jack Butland. Tough battle for that number 1 spot in the coming season between him and Craig Gordon. As the Seagulls again descend in Tynecastle. This is a don't feel like it was this before. I don't know what's happened at the start of this pre-season.
It seems a lot worse. You're right, the last couple of weeks.
Spurs flying in this game in the second half. 11.5 minutes to go. 4-1. Not quite matching the 5-goal margin they had last time they were at Tynecastle, but certainly in control. The Hearts man of the match picked by LNER. Sponsors of today's game will be Gerald Taylor, I should say. Just probably no real surprise.
No.
Great first half from the new signing.
I think he was voted halfway through the first half, I think.
It's been a change of shirt for Alejo Veliz. No number on it now as Spurs trying to play in Tyrese Hall, eventually out for a throw to Tottenham. Marshalled on that occasion by Lewis Nielsen. Heavily involved in his first season with Hearts, well, 16 appearances anyway, but out on loan last campaign to the Championship, and he'll be looking to force his way back into Stephen Naismith's thoughts this year. Highly rated signing from Dundee United. Had some great games as well, but equally we saw when the chips were down for Hearts in that first campaign, he did struggle in a few matches, and it's maybe just the nature of it when he's still so young. Xander Clark sends a spinning ball up the field. Header well won by Drama. Gets it back well from Wilson. That was a nice cushion header. Drama driving forward, challenged by Lucas Bergvall, and he was fouled by the Swedish player, who feels he got the ball, but referee Matthew McDermott did not agree. play between Drammett and Wilson. Another one Hearts are looking to get an idea what they can see from him this season. Moussa Drammeh, still just 22, the Spaniard. Hearts trying to play it forward down the right, and they have won their 5th corner of the game.
Yeah, a bit of a quick free kick from Blair Spittle there, getting in a wider area. James Wilson making the run, earns a corner.
Spittle will take it. Nielsen and Halkett forward from the back. Bailey Dahl in there as well. Spittle curled in right-footed, nodded away by Royale. Drammett volleys it back in, but flies a few yards over the crossbar.
Yeah, decent effort. He connects with it well.
Alejo Valise will be withdrawn. It's Dane Scarlett who comes on now as the substitutions continue to rein in here. If that's just a precautionary measure. Valise, who came on in the second half. Hearts have it back though. It's a loose pass from Spittle, giving it to Timo Werner. Slips it through to the substitute Scarlett, who went too early.
He did.
And the 20-year-old should have done better there, because that was a real chance for Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah, we're kind of in line here, and he did. He just advanced his run, and there was absolutely no need for him to do it.
Dane Scarlett, who was on loan at Ipswich Town last season and Portsmouth the year prior. He has played 6 league games for the Tottenham senior team. You just see mistimed his run there, and he shouldn't have. It was one of those moments where he had plenty of time to think about it, I think, to make sure he stayed on side. And it stays Heart Midlothian 1, Tottenham Hotspur 4. Hooked forward by Nielsen off the head of Bergvall. Bergvall once more on the right. Looks for the run of Moore. Lewis Nielsen will get there first. Halkett. Now Bailey Dahl floats that one forward, looking for Shankland, who has got a goal to his name today, but he's not had an awful lot else to do, to be honest.
He's had 0 after that, but certainly a great introduction after the second half.
Well, this probably sums up the nature of the second half. It will be the 3rd Spurs goalkeeper to get a game today. It's now Luca Gunter coming on. 5 different goalkeepers alone in this match. 83 minutes played. Halkett floats it forward. Moussa Drammeh goes after it. Almost got a little breakaway there from Max Robson. Comes back to Spittle. Nice pass inside. Drammeh. Let's get it back to Denham, but there was Timo Werner covering. Breaks back to Spurs. Chance on the break for the visitors. Good run forward by Tyrese Hall. Got a little break of the ball. Still going down the left wing. Now Werner. Hearts get men behind the ball. Bergvall picks up. Still inside the Hearts half. Looks to dance forward. Slips it to the right. To Moore. Nice run by Spence to the byline. Goes for the cut back. Vital block though. Lewis Nielsen. The Spurs have been racking up the corners. This is the 10th of the evening for them.
Yeah, lovely weighted pass just down the outside there, just to the dead ball line. Lewis Nielsen sees it and gets across and defends it well, because if he doesn't, it's a decent cut back, and again we've got a good view here. It would have been another opportunity for Spurs.
Corner played back the way to Royale. Everyone behind the ball for Hearts. Bergvall. Curling there, a teasing ball, chance headed towards goal, blocked by Clark and forced in. The first chance fell to Dane Scarlett, blocked by Xander Clark. But the rebound was forced in, and the keeper couldn't prevent Tottenham Hotspur scoring a 5th for their 2nd consecutive visit to Tynecastle Park. Just waiting to see the confirmation who got the final touch on that one. It's a lovely ball from Bergvall from the right. Might have been an offside claim against Dane Scarlett. His header was well blocked by Xander Clark. And I think in the end it was the defender Ashley Phillips who converted from close range, forcing it into the near post. And it is a rout now for Tottenham Hotspur. Hearts 1, Spurs 5.
Yeah, he should score with the header. I mean, it's a wonderful ball. We've said it all evening. When they get into wide area, Spurs, they don't mess about. They put balls into boxes and ask questions. And that is a wonderful ball in, and they really should be scoring with a header.
4 goals in the second half for a very much second string Spurs team, which I'm sure Ange Postecoglou will be pleased about. Some of the younger players and fringe players showing what they can do. For Hearts, I think it's a case of similar to Saturday, just shake it off against higher calibre opposition. They're coming forward again, those Spurs. Moore driving on, still going. Eventually won back by Hearts, but there was a foul on the youngster before then. The 16-year-old just showing good aggression on the ball, driving forward, and the free kick is taken low. Final goal scorer as things stand, Phillips. Werner. Ball breaks back towards Devine. Chance here for Scarlett. Drame goes down, no foul. It's a bit untidy in the box. Eventually Aidan Denham can clear. And now Spittle, nice ball forward. James Wilson will be onside here. He was inside his own half. The teenager twisting and turning, but too much cover in the end. And the Spurs players didn't really have anywhere to go. And again, it's back with the visitors. In control again, like they were in 2011. Different circumstances here, but it's going to be a very similar end result as Hearts concede another corner. Last season was the first time in 15 seasons that they didn't have European football. Spurs heading back into Europe this campaign. Well, they did dream of a title challenge after being top after 10 games. It's a Hearts side also back in Europe, a third successive season for them for the first time in history. Spurs come forward once again. Tyrese Hall dancing all the way through the Hearts defence. Good challenge by Lewis Nielsen. It will just be a goal kick. But Tyrese Hall, another one of the Spurs youngsters who's starting to enjoy himself out there. It does show the golfing class at times. I mean,
yep,
not just the quality of some of the youngsters, but you talk about some of the Spurs players. First goal scorer, £50 million signing.
Yeah.
Signing 18-year-olds for £40 million. I mean, the levels between English Premier League and Scottish Premiership is quite stark in the modern day.
And you can see it on the naked eye tonight. Simple as that. They've been sharper all over the park. Very confident in possession.
And they're coming forward again now. Ball played through towards Scarlett. Might be in for another. Xander Clark comes out. He's round the goalkeeper, but lashes it off target in the end. There's a big chance for number 6 there for Dane Scarlett, racing in on goal. Rounded Xander Clark. Just a little bit of a rush of blood to the head with the finish in the end. Slightly off balance, I think, as he hit it on the angle. But certainly at this point, Spurs opening Hearts up at will.
Yeah, one or two really pacey players on the park now, that's for sure. I'm not too sure he needs to put his foot through it there. If he just guides it towards the goal, he might get number 6.
Emerson Royale, who made that error early in the second half, covering on that occasion, the former Barcelona man. Now Spurs pick up again. Alfie Devine driving forward. Timo Werner on the left, taking on Denham. Blocked away well by Denham that time. Picked up by Spittle, still inside the Hearts half though, nowhere to go. One back by Spurs. As we hit 90 minutes and referee Matthew McDermott brings to a close Hearts' second recognised pre-season friendly, certainly one in front of fans, and in the end it's a pretty routine victory for Tottenham Hotspur, showing the engulfing class between the English top flight and the Scottish top flight. They led 1-0 at half time through Brennan Johnson. Shankland levelled after coming off the bench early in the second. But then the Spurs second string really took hold of the game, and goals from Lancashire, Mikey Moore, Jed Spence, and the centre back Ashley Phillips capped off a comfortable victory, and one Jimmy Sanderson that Hearts won't want to remember from a scoreline perspective. They didn't really get into that second half, but we said it on Saturday, it's all about getting minutes in the legs and trying to get up to speed ahead of the competitive football.
That's all it is. I mean, all you can do is look forward to the Rangers game. These games will be put into history and they'll be forgotten. It's about getting your absolutely right fitness, match fitness into all these group of players that are wearing a maroon strip. Looking forward to Rangers coming here, and whether we were good or bad is slightly irrelevant. The management team will be taking the positives out of it. There'll be lots of things they can talk about of Hearts not having the ball tonight and being out of possession that were positive. We didn't do an awful lot with the ball, to be fair. Shantley comes on and scores a goal from a little bit of an error from Emerson Royale and Spurs, but the rest of it was all about Spurs, wasn't it? You can see they are a quality team, and there is a huge gulf, and that's absolutely fine as long as they're not in our league next season. That's absolutely fine.
Could both end up being Europa League, just remember that.
Okay.
Ange Postecoglou has a happy return to Scotland in this game, and the 2,000 Spurs fans will head back south very happy. The Hearts fans will look for a different type of result when the competitive stuff starts at Tynecastle in a couple of weeks' time. We'll hand back to the studio now to analyse that second half, with a comfortable victory here for Tottenham Hotspur in the Scottish capital. Full-time scoreline at Tynecastle: Heart of Midlothian 1, Tottenham Hotspur